global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our channel. This is getting very interesting in Rivers State. In fact, things are really escalating. Things are moving way faster than we could ever think. Right now, the supporters of Fubara are getting it real hot as we speak right now. One of the strongest supporters of Fubara, and who happened to be the former chairman of Obiokpo, the same local government, yes, Wike, is from, that's Chijioke. Ambassador Chijioke, who has cried out some few hours ago, today actually, what went down in his community when he went for a burial ceremony in Obiokpo. I'm going to read to you what exactly transpired. He had to open up, and even is insisting that the investigation should be carried out just about immediately. Now, a few days ago, about 5 days ago, he was seen around his vicinity, in his environment. The youth came all out and started rejoicing with him, and he said, look, the love from his people are palpable. The youth seem to have gathered and started, visiting him, loving him. So he gathered, gave them some things to take and drink, and they became merry. So 5 days after, which has happened to be today, there was a burial ceremony in Obiokpo, or somewhere in Obiokpo, and let's read what happened in a moment. Now, according to Chijioke, he said, I wish to inform the general public that I narrowly escaped being quied, as in being brought down today at Rumenome in Obiokpo local government area of River State, where I had gone to attend a burial. While I'm grateful to God for sparing my life, I condemn in the strongest term this act and call on security agencies to thoroughly investigate the incident and bring the perpetrators to justice. Violence has no place in our society, and no one should be made a target for simply going about lawful and peaceful activities. I urge all well-meaning citizens to continue to stand for peace, justice, and the rule of law in our state and country. And of course, some few hours after, the cap, the very cap that and Chijioke wore to that burial was seen on social media. The viral video was seen on social media circulating. He had to come out again and explain how that cap came to be. He said, I came across a disturbing video circulating on social media in which alleged supporters of the FCT minister, Nyesom Wike, were heard claiming responsibility for an attempt to buy me, as an attempt to bring me down, and those who were with me at Chinda Rumweme in Obiokpo local government area. Now, this incident raises serious concerns about the sincerity of the peace the FCT minister claimed to have brought to River State, as his supporters continue to launch moves against those who stand with the governor, Sir Siminalayi Fubara. These were the words he said on the social media handle. This is just my personal opinion. I remember one of the strongest loyalists of Fubara is actually Chijioke Ihonwo. Even when they say don't breathe, Ihonwo will breathe and also spark. In fact, Ihonwo spoke even more bold. He was more articulate than every other local government chairman or even CTC chairman ever. And he's actually from Obiokpo. In fact, I could still remember that it was even Ihonwo who was the one who championed the change of the traditional ruler in Obiokpo. He did a lot of things. He took the lands that allegedly was being taken from the people, returned it back to the people, changed the name of Nyesom Wike in the secretariat, and put another entirely. Of course, all of that I feel could probably one of the reasons why he seemed to be the subject of discussion here. But Fubara now has gone back, and he still stands where he stands. What's your take on this very strong allegation that Chijioke Ihonwo is making? And what do you make of this? With the proofs is actually given on social media.
Okay, well, I think I'm just wondering when all of this, madness in River State will end. They have been fully stripped of everything. All of this for me is uncalled for.
Honestly, and they say there's peace.
I mean,
they sued for peace.
They say there's peace, and I don't know why this is happening, but let it not also be a plot to extending the emergency rule, because if this kind of thing happen and moves are not being taken to bring the culprit to law, the next thing that will happen is possibly a reprisal attack, which is very unfavorable for Fubara's return. So I think that what Chijioke should do is to go to the appropriate quarters. That's the police. Should report it to the police and let them understand the gravity of the move taken against his life. He shouldn't take laws into his hand, because I know a lot of people will go closer to him and tell him, equip yourself, this and that and that and that. He shouldn't go that far. I know that right now, a lot of things are going to be happening in Rivers State, pointing to the fact that we are the boss, because I have seen a lot of write-up coming from the supporters of Wike. That's those who are at the other side. And some of them are like, when you were collecting lands from us, when you were in power, didn't you know that power is transient? And some of them were, there's even one that posted a video when Ihonwe himself went to the house of Martin Amowole, for whatever reason. They posted those videos and said when he was doing all of this, nobody was saying anything. And so, but then, if we are swinging for peace and everything seems to be where it should be, I don't think that this move should be taken. The structure has been finally captured now. You've captured all your structure. You understand? They didn't contest election, and they are not even intending to go to court. I don't know if they are intending to go to court or not, but I feel that at this point, everybody should call their people to order. Stop doing this, stop doing this, stop doing that, so that peace will be restored. If, the structures have been fully captured, I mean, this is, for me, quite uncalled for. We need peace in Rivers State. Rivers State has ended up being a national state. That's a state controlled by the presidency. It ought not to be so. The elected governor should return back. And then all other, quarters, they need to shield their sword. There's time for war, there's time for quarrel, there's time for election. But right now, I think it's time for governance. They should sit back and continue the governance and to get embroiled in all of this.
But at this rate, would you blame Chijioke? If you ask me, Chijioke have really been very peaceful. In fact, he stays away from their issues. At this rate, he just went for a burial. Why against him? Well,
I think that some of them may be talking about it's a payback time, reflecting on what he did in the past. And that's why I said, if you go to most of the supporters of, the FCT minister, there's something, I'm not pointing fingers at them, but what I know is, what I've seen is that they are pulling out some strong things he had done in the past. Some even brought out the time that he went and removed some Wike's name from administrative block and pull it down and put another person. All of that. For them, it's time for us to repay him back for what he. But going that way is actually not the right way. If for any reason he had done anything that is illegal, then you can take him to court. Follow the ideal way. Legal actions will be taken, not to begin to go after people's life and all of that. This, for me, it's really uncalled for. We need to get to a point where we see governance beyond one man, see governance beyond fighting, see governance beyond, because at the end of the day, you end up hurting one another. Tomorrow, you have a twist in your interest, and all of a sudden, political interest, and all of a sudden, you are fighting your boss again. For me, this is not ideal.
All right, that's going to wrap it up. Let's move to the comments.